You need a hero like me.
It's week 3 of the 2022 season, and up next is Darius Slay. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Eagles and the Commanders just ahead on EA Sports.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. The numbers for Sanders last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Second down, back to Sanders. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe up to the 41. This defense for the Commanders is much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, they held them to just 7 points, and if you rewatch the game tape, and I did multiple times, it was amazing to me that the other guys even got 7. They were absolutely dominating on that side of the football.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. And Joseph Charlton on down to punt. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. In Washington territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Running right, here's Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. They'll go again with Sanders, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down at the 32-yard line. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. He'll look to throw. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
2nd and 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view,
and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the 3rd team in 3 years for Wentz and the 4th starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
From the 38, Wentz to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A big game here for Carson Wentz. He mostly got cheers. Some boos smattered in when he was announced before the game, but 35-32-1 was Wentz in his 5 years as the Phillies starter. His best year, you remember that one, 2017, finished 3rd at MVP voting, but a knee injury ended his season late and opened the door for Nick Foles to carry the Eagles to a Super Bowl title. Wentz now on first down. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Thomas brings it in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it concluded with the touchdown pass to Antonio Gibson. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not have to block more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Smith catches left side. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. The Eagles at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed,
and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. And 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Shifts by him, and he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And this one incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't.
Touchdown! Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Commanders back out late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Thomas has got it, complete. Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On play action, it's Wentz. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's got room, 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports from the 6. Johnson on, it's poked free, football's out, and I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He really tried to thread that down the seam.
Yeah, he tried to rip that one, didn't he? But a throw with that velocity, necessary when you're trying to hit a quick hitter like that one. Timing execution has to be perfect. Unfortunately for him, that one fell to the ground.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Now Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On the draw, here's Sanders. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
The kick by Elliott is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now Wentz on third down. And Thomas has it. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for fourth down. Here's Tressway now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? If they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 27-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They'll run. It's Sanders trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll run with Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up the 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
Automatic
And I
first
know
down.
fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Wentz. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So an agile move, but not a big gain, down right near the 25. Washington on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. On first down, Sanders, and he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Going with their tight end on 4th. That he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Sanders, and here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Another run with Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out.
They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
From the gun on third down, Wentz.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Now Wentz, got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. They'll run with Sanders up the middle, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Let's go now.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the